That's us, man. 24/7.
You should expect the unexpected. I mean,
Make it known that this is all about being 100% authentic.
We are live now.
So, with that being said, let's jump right in.
Go ahead, Velvet. The floor is yours.
Well, here's my thoughts on it after like watching it over these past few weeks. Number one, although I think Monique is getting a lot of slack for what she said and then the picture that she posted, because she also posted a picture of a young lady at the airport, and that sent people into spirals. Although she didn't post the girl's face, but it did. But what I appreciate is the fact that it started a conversation. It started dialogue and allowed people to weigh in and to hear different opinions. And I am in total agreement with April that it affects everything about you. How you look affects how you think, how you feel. It affects what you think you can bring to the table, to the world. It affects your mind, your psyche, everything. Anybody will tell you, you have people will tell you, individuals who are suffering from depression, one of the things that they tell them is get up, take a shower, get dressed, because it changes how you feel about yourself. So
Get dressed.
So what I think here is it's not really about the bonnets per se. Like I'm over that. I'm over it. If you want to wear a bonnet, wear a bonnet. I'm over it. But what I think it does is it points to a larger issue of leadership in our community. And I think that's a bigger thing than a bonnet. Leadership in our community. What have we passed down? The morals and the values that we've passed down to this younger generation. Somebody's missed the mark somewhere.
But hold on, Velvet. What you just said.
Let me finish. And I'm not saying, and it's not them. They haven't been taught. So, we can't blame young people for what we have failed to teach them. So that's why I'm glad for the dialogue and to be able to have the conversation so that now we can start imparting maybe some wisdom. Now, we're not going to catch them all, but maybe we can catch some of them.
So what you just said, Velvet, is what I was trying to say to Marcus, and you all had to let him speak, right? So I'll swear to. So what I was saying was that if we're going to allow the younger generation to be the driving force of things, we're in trouble because they haven't been taught, just like we weren't taught. Now, what Marcus is talking about,
he muted you.
He doesn't understand that. I muted him a long time ago because he won't let me talk, so I'll just mute him. I just do what I want to do. So here's what has to happen. Seriously, if we're going to allow the younger generation to be the driving force of what's socially acceptable, we have to put some qualifiers out here. If we didn't teach them, we didn't educate them, we can't allow them to say, I'm wearing a bonnet because it's comfortable and I didn't feel like getting dressed. I've yet to hear anybody say that they're putting on this bonnet as a fashion statement because that's just what they're doing. This is it's a form of, I did not feel like getting up and doing everything that it means to walk out the house. I didn't feel like doing that. And so what? Leave me alone. But that's the lack of community. That's the lack of leadership, right? That's all of that. So we had the same issues. Marcus, you talked about cross colors becoming popping because younger people, that's clothes on people's back, not a freaking nighttime bonnet. Not a nighttime bonnet. Like that's just
But his point was
so many guys on here. I have something I'd like to throw out there.
Yes.
So since we're talking about bonnets and it's typically women that are out wearing bonnets, you might see a guy or two, but it's mostly women.
Derek, you shouldn't have said nothing. I was just going to let him sit there and wait for me to unmute him. You can unmute yourself.
Right. Okay.
Go ahead, Velvet.
In the same respect, what about men sagging their pants?
It's horrible. It's dumb. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
But every day, that has become culturally acceptable.
It has not.
Guys are sagging their pants to show their behinds, but women or some girls are cutting up their shorts to show the bottom of their tail.
It is
so
not,
it's still a form of showing their behind.
But it is not culturally accepted. It is not. It is at that younger generation.
Culturally accepted.
First off, all black people are cool with that.
Hold on.
Who's culture? Not my
culture, Marcus.
Hold on.
Young people.
So you telling me you ain't never had no sagging pants? Your pants wasn't never.
Hold
on, Dan.
Hold on. So listen. So pants been sagging since like the 80s.
Right.
Since like the 80s, 90s
Right.
hip hop culture.
Right.
You had your pants sagging a little
Truth.
bit. It is what it is, right?
Crisscross will make it jump.
People,
Right.
you know, nowadays it is a part of a certain culture because you got these young kids out here who actually buy underwear to match whatever outfit they have going on because they want that to be a part of the outfit. But
Right.
unfortunately, you still see people in hip hop culture wear the skinny jeans with them joints sagging, and because they see that, that's what they want to do. So
I
yes,
agree.
well, unfortunately, it is a part of a culture.
Wait,
but
you said
can't
a
just-
culture. Not it is not culture.
It's a big part of
Can you
hip
let
hop
me?
culture.
Can you let me
which
finish?
Pushes,
Let me finish.
yeah, which sets the
part of-
foundation for a lot.
It's a part of the hip hop culture, Walt. So it is. You say not your culture, but Walt, let's keep it a buck. You have a lot of moments when you be like, get off my lawn, dude, a lot.
You damn right I do. You
All right,
damn right I
so-
do.
but-
I'm about to go shoot me a kid in the butt with a BB gun now.
Right,
Because
but
y'all angry at me. This
but-
doesn't
but-
make no sense.
but the thing is,
pants sagging.
but my thing is right. Like you kind of tend to forget that you was young too, and I'm sure you had your pants sagging
No.
just like everybody else did.
But see, that's the thing. I'm not forgetting that I was young. What I'm saying, I'm not.
No,
Listen,
but
what I'm
Walt,
saying.
some of the things you say, you do
You're not-
forget.
It's like you forget your whole entire teenage all the way up to your 20s.
I did not. I have not forgot any of my youthful indiscretions and my youthful errors. The problem is, I was corrected. I was chastised.
Right, but they ain't.
I was corrected. I was chastised. At every point.
People.
Well, if he don't let me talk, I'm gonna mute him because he can jump in and holler, and y'all be like, "Oh, let him talk, let him talk." But the second I mute him, quit muting him, quit. Who let him be in control? I'm gonna mute him. That's what I'm gonna do. And I got my mute fingers way quicker than yours, homie.
Okay, go.
So the point is, I haven't forgot any of my youthful errors. The thing is that I was chastised. I was corrected. I had leaders. I had elders who
But
were
that's
able.
you.
Wait, no, listen. We all had those leaders. We all had those elders who corrected us. That's why you don't wear a bonnet outside. That's why April doesn't wear a bonnet outside. That's why Velvet doesn't wear a bonnet outside. Marcus, that's why you have certain respect, certain standards, and things that you just won't do as a black man. You won't do, but wait, because of how you were raised, right? Because of how you were raised. And like, but right.
Wait,
If we're gonna
so-
wait, Derek, if we're going to allow the answer to be because they weren't raised that way, that's why it's okay. If that's just the checkout and that's the thing that we're going to qualify and say, oh, it's because they wasn't raised no way. Well, at what point are we going to try to fix that? Like, if I can't be the old dude to say, get off my lawn, pull your pants up and take the parachute off your head. And if I can't say that because you're saying, oh, well, that's what they do now.
Well, but here's the thing, right? I think if you think about that, when they said that to you at that time in that moment, you probably looked at them like they were crazy, right? As a child.
I'm not saying.
Wait.
No, I'm not saying how the people.
I know.
I'm not saying how the kids look at them. I'm saying how the adults who are supposed to be the leaders.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Well, that's my point. What I'm saying is when they said that to you, if you say something to them about pulling up their pants or whatever the case may be at this age right now where they are, they're going to look at you like you're crazy, right? They're not. But as they get older, so what I'm hearing in all of this, is that as they mature and as they get older,
I am not talking.
There are some who will take that advice and they will mature and change. But there are a lot of people who are our age right now that are sagging the pants, that are wearing the bonnets and all that, so that also tells me that there's different levels to this because you have your professionals and then you have your people who aren't that professional. I don't have much to do. I'm chilling most of the day, right? And so I'm going to look that way and act that part.
But I'm not
and that's what I was about to ask you about. What is the age where it clicks off and that you become this person? And because I see it at work. These people in their mid-30s, no professionalism.
Right, because
they wear leggings to work.
Right,
that's not professional.
I think that's the point that Walt's making. It's like you don't really see young people complaining about it, but you do see grown folks co-signing it and stamping it too. And that's what I'm talking about. Because I was looking, because when I was seeing these women say, oh, it's okay, mind your business. These are women who are my age and older. Like, why are you worrying about what I'm wearing? So that's the point he's trying to make, is that
I agree.
where are the leaders telling it? Okay, the young people want to wear saggy pants, that's fine. Okay, but where are the leaders to still inform them that this might not be the right way to represent yourself to the public? These ain't young people saying, leave her alone. No, these are a whole gamut of age groups and age ranges. And it was, so that's why I said the conversation is a little bit bigger, because I was really shocked at the age limit of these women saying that wearing the bonnets outside were okay. I thought women my age and older would be like, no, I don't agree with it, it's not okay. Yeah. And really instructing the younger people as to why. And that's not what I see. I'm seeing something very different. Yeah. And so it goes into a bigger conversation about what we have allowed culturally, where we are as a culture, and what we are allowing in our culture. And we're not leading, we're not teaching, we're not passing down that value system that used to be very important to us. And we used to be known for our value system. It's just, that's not occurring. And that is what's confusing me throughout this conversation.
Yeah, and so that's,
well, I think part of, can I piggyback right quick?
Yeah.
I think part of that too, and I wholeheartedly agree with everything you said, Velvet. Part of the problem I think is going on right now when we would always say it takes a village to raise a child. Nowadays, you can't say nothing to the village's child. Nothing. You can't say anything. So that goes back to exactly what you're just saying. The older people may be telling people, like I do at work. I mentor people that are in their 30s. They don't listen.
Right, I agree.
They don't listen. They don't listen. They just do what they want to do.
And Dev, I'm gonna say one thing, and I'm gonna let you jump in. But I think that's where, you know, I make the point that there's different levels to it. And let's be honest, there's people who are hood and there's people who are more professional. And if you grow up hood, you may not see that there's something wrong with some of these things that you may be engaging in and doing, because that's not the environment that you grew up in, or you may not have had those people to say this is wrong, which, like you say, you got 30-year-old people that you may work with, or people that were saying ain't nothing wrong with it. You can't tell these young people what to do if they want to, you know, wear their bonnets and all that stuff. They might have grew up in that environment. So I think there's not a monolith, you know what I mean, when it comes to people. So I think you're probably always going to have.
But that's the issue. When you say there's not a monolith, that's cool. It's not a monolithic statement. It's a statement of what you're doing, what Marcus just did, what I'm hearing you saying, even what Devin was saying, as far as it being culture, a part of a culture. It's like you're allowing it, you're basically co-signing the behavior and allowing it to not be corrected by saying this is okay because this is what they this is okay because this is what they do based off of their experience, based off of their environment. And like what Velvet said, what April said, and what I said earlier, if we don't have community, because community would have come along and said, you know what, I get it, that's part of your culture. And that's cool. You can educate me on your culture, but let me explain to you why this is offensive or problematic for the entire community. That's what the community would have done. But if we say what Marcus said, that's just what young people are doing now. It's cool.
Understand this. Even in our community is split. Okay. You have a community in which where certain parts of the community are taught that, in which they can sit there and say, hey, I know right from wrong. And then you have another side of the community of which me and you both know, growing up in Homewood and Lincoln, that, they don't give a F.
So do we just let that persist?
So it's going to persist.
So the point is,
it's been like that. Every hood is like that.
But that's the problem.
Family members.
Every hood is like that.
But that's the problem, though. Family. That's what I'm saying. That's the problem.
That's never going to be fixed.
What you're doing?
Going to be fixed, Walt.
But all right. So if we're gonna quit on it,
family members.
Listen,
if we're going to gang bang until the day they get put in the
if we are going to quit trying to allow for any sort of community growth, any sort of community development, any sort of community progress, because it's always been that way. If that's the attitude that we're going to take, that's what you just said. No, you said it's always been that way. It's going to be like that. And what I asked was,
what I said was it's always going to be a split community, and that's regard. I mean, It's always going to be that.
So do we allow that other side of the community just to be? We don't try to ever correct that?
No, you are. You're going to keep working on them, and you're going to get a few.
You can say everybody are entitled to their own opinions, as like Monique said, right? She had her opinion, right?
Yeah.
But even in her opinion, you have people who heard
Like
that
Velvet said,
still going to say, I don't care what you say. I'm going to do what I want to do.
Listen, you're trying to live in a society where everything's going to be gravy, where everybody's going to go to this one side, and we're going to be kumbaya type thing. It's not going to happen.
No,
I don't really think that's what he's saying. That's not what
not at all. That's not at all what I'm saying.
That's not what
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that neither.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Marcus, what I'm saying is, we have people on one side of the fence. We got people on the other side of the fence. There's always going to be two sides to every story. And then there's always going to be the truth somewhere in the middle. Nobody is questioning that. Nobody's saying that. What I'm saying is, you just allowed for it to be okay for something that I think most of us are saying is not really that cool to be okay.
It's not cool for who?
Right, but this is what
it's going to be cool for.
What I'm saying, and it can be cool for them. But if I can't say, if I can't talk to them and say, look, this is why I don't think it's okay. Because if a young lady comes up to me and says, I'm wearing this bonnet because it matches my outfit, okay, I get it. How many young women? Devin just gave a story of a young woman who went out the house that did not put that bonnet on. She went to a social setting and was not trying to be socially appealing. She was trying to mask the fact that her hair did not look to her standard. It had nothing to do with being fashionable.
That leads to a whole nother conversation.
But no, this is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, Marcus, what I'm saying is, have you ever come across a young woman who is wearing their parachute bonnet, their baby bonnet, any bonnet out the house to be fashionable?
Yes. When you see the women who got the blue bonnet, the blue outfit, they got the blue slippers on the back.
I've never seen that.
I don't know about that.
Never seen it.
So listen.
I've never seen that.
That's more so. That's just more so
seen-
being lazy.
I've
And
seen
you just rolled up
fashionable.
out the bed. That's what
I don't
that
know
is.
about that.
I ain't never
Rolled
seen
out
that,
the bed
Marcus.
and it
I ain't
was
never
clean
seen it.
clothes.
I've never seen it.
So look, I haven't seen that. I'm not saying that hasn't happened. I haven't seen it, but I just want to say for the record that my stereotype is right. I mean, my double standard, is correct, right? Because we spent a lot of time talking about the whole bonnet thing, and we kind of get in everything else. But again, we didn't spend a lot of time on the fact that dudes still be rocking the Deweys.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm saying, I think, like my beautiful wife. Shout out to my wife, Shawnee. She said, "It is what it is. It is a double standard, right?
Right.
It just is going to be.
That is what. That's
it's going to be what it's going to be. Damn it! That's basically what she said. So just deal with it. But
it goes to what time-wise is acceptable. You know what I mean? We talk about, if we come back to this discussion 5-10 years down the line, I bet you we have a whole different perspective of what we're talking about right now, of where it's acceptable for a young lady to do it.
I don't know.
But see, that's part of, and that's part of what's. But see, and that's part.
I think my opinion is going to be the same.
And that's part. And that's also.
I agree, Velvet. Mine is with yours.
And that's also part of what the double standard.
Our opinions. I'm talking about society's opinion.
But see, that's part of what the double standard that Devin is talking about. Our opinion of what is okay for women and what is okay for young men has always been women are held to a much higher double standard of existence.
I get that.
So. But that's what I mean. Like, even
what I'm trying to say is 10 years down the line, it's going to become acceptable for you to see a woman out in public with a bonnet.
So here's what I wonder. Here's what I wonder. I wonder if there was somebody of significance that would be on a platform, that would use a platform and would wear a bonnet. And that would be the catalyst for making it acceptable.
So
and the reason why I say that is because the first person that comes to mind that I know for a fact wore a do-rag at his press conferences and made it acceptable, not necessarily in hip hop, but in sports, was Allen Iverson.
Right.
He was the
Mhm.
one who actually had his joint and it was rocking it crazy, and
Right.
Allen Iverson was doing his thing, and he made it be acceptable to wear
Right.
the baggy joints, to wear the chains, to wear the
Right.
do-rags, to wear the braids,
Yeah.
all of
Right.
that.
And then rappers.
I wonder, right, and rappers, but the first person that came to mind was Allen Iverson, and he was basically that catalyst for. He helped drive that. Now,
Right.
okay? So I wonder if a woman who had
I mean,
a platform did that, would it kind of do that
Except if it was
transformation?
Megan Thee Stallion.
So what's
That's
Shorty
what-
from? What's Shorty's name from Black Basketball Wives?
She does the Bonnet Chronicles.
Does
You
the
talking
Bonnet
about,
thing.
Oh, Tammy.
Tammy.
Tammy Roman. Tammy Roman.
Tammy Roman.
What's that all about?
She in her house though.
She's in her crib.
But what
You
is
know,
she promoting?
I don't usually see her out in the streets though,
Right,
doing
right.
the Bonnet
But
Chronicles.
No.
She's usually in her crib.
She's at
but,
home.
But she's at home doing it though.
Yeah.
Like she's doing it, but she's in the comfort of her own home.
Which is what her point is. I'm wearing
Right,
a
doing it.
I'm
I'm
in
at
the
home.
comfort of my home.
I'm at
Right.
home doing what I want to do because
But
I'm
how
at
many
home. I'm not
people-
rocking the
how
Bonnet in
many-
the street.
How many young people is taking it in that same perspective that she's only doing it because she's out of her home and she's comfortable? Or are they taking it as, hey, she's rocking it, I could rock it too.
Well, look, in
But she's
context,
not. But
in
she's not
context-
outside. She's at home.
No,
Well, look,
I
well, that's the
understand
thing.
that.
In
You-
context of the
you-
conversation, hold on.
Listen.
In context of the conversation,
Right. It
She's
all
at
depends
home.
on how you look at it.
she's at home though.
I mean, I get it, she's at home, but how many other people who's younger is
Mhm.
saying, hey, she's making money out here rocking the bonnet.
But
So
that's
I,
Making money rocking
so
the bonnet.
I think the
That's-
interesting point
I
is it's going to be
I
interesting.
see Marcus. I understand what Marcus is saying on that. I
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah, you take what
because
she did and you want to go up another level.
Perception, it's their perception, right? Yes, we
Mhm.
know because we're adults and we understand because of how we were raised and what the purpose of bonnet is for and what her point is of wearing it. But think about somebody who is 17, 18, 19, the ones that are out here waiting for a reason to wear the bonnet. Are they looking at Tammy and saying, well, shoot, she on social media with this bonnet on, making videos, talking about stuff. Like, their perception of that could be, yeah, she's at home, but so what?
Yo, if you haven't, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and follow 5 Things Off the Wall on all platforms.